Okie dokie, folks. We got solo leveling. Now, this is for my guys who are in the anime, guys and girls, excuse me. But I'm gonna check out Charlie's thoughts on solo leveling. I've heard him speak highly. I haven't seen a single negative comment about solo leveling. In my opinion, the best anime of right now. I'll say that. Best anime out right now. If y'all got any quarrels with that, drop your favorite right now. I'm not gonna say favorite because your favorite and the best are two different things. But yeah, drop what you think is the best anime out right now. Um, JJK obviously is one of the top tier ones for me. Chainsaw Man, one of the top tier ones for me. But again, right now because they're not out right now, that for sure takes the cake. But yeah, let's go ahead and see what Charlie got to say about it.
I love you. You ever heard those words before? Well, you have now. You know what else I love? Solo leveling. I think it is a must watch show. It's a little something called anime. Might have heard of it before. Solo leveling has really blown up.
I don't know. Like if I think of like somebody's introduction into anime, you know, there are certain shows that are good shows, but probably wouldn't be great recommends. You know, I don't know. Like they probably have to watch it with somebody in order to get into it. But I guess I do think this one might be. In my opinion, it started off slow. First three episodes, I was not feeling it. Once I got past three, a little bit into four. After four, I'm like, oh, it has activated. It is unlocked. It is game time. I got me.
With the success of season 2, it has
But
exploded
I
in
think it could be a
popularity.
good
It's broken a
intro
bunch
anime.
of records, and not to put the pinky out and the fedora on, but I liked it a lot during season 1 too, and I was preaching the good word even back then. I know it's a little hipster thing to say, but yeah, I was sucking its dick before it was cool. Though I haven't read the manhwa that it's based on, so I'm not like a primordial meat swallower of solo leveling, but I was an early adopter. But now everyone's throwing it in a big way because the show is extraordinary. It is a really,
I
really
remember
good.
if y'all are in that space, I remember Heavenly Controller. He was reading it years ago, years ago, and it was them videos were so popular, and I wasn't hip to that. Like I didn't really care for reading manga. You know, I used to when I was younger, but I guess since it's a Korean show, they call it manhwa. I don't know, but I wasn't really into that. But I would see those videos pop up on my recommend consistently, and he was reading it. So to see that now it's a huge anime is kind of wild. It's pretty dope though.
Show. It's a very straightforward show with a simple premise we've seen hundreds of times before. It's not
Yep.
trying to reinvent spaghetti and meatballs here. It's perfectly content doing it very well. So it's basically a world where humans have awakened magical power, and these gates are starting to appear, which act like dungeons in video games, if any of you are gamers out there. And the humans that have these powers become hunters more often than not, and they are ranked from E to S. E being dog shit tier, absolutely useless, bottom of the barrel, to S being the creme de la creme, the best the society has to offer. So these hunters will take these missions from their guilds, or sometimes not even with guild work, and go to the gates, defeat the boss to close the gate. The hunters protect the rest of humanity by closing these gates so that way the magic beasts don't come in and fuck us all in the face. And that's kind of the whole idea of the world in a nutshell, and we follow the weakest hunter of them all, Sung Jin Woo. Now, real quick before I dive into what makes the show super special and extremely good, I'd like to thank
Before he dives into that and thanks whoever this is, whatever ad this is, when he said they don't try to reinvent the wheel, would they the foundation of this show is a concept that is used in anime so often. You've seen it with what's the anime I gosh, it's not coming to brain. It's older, but you see the same this same concept, but they just did it. I feel like so much better than everybody else. They did it so well. There's a show that I'm trying to think of that's older, that's kind of goated. It's not in my top 5, but it's kind of goated to in a lot of people's eyes. I just can't think of it at the moment. But yeah, the concept that they bring is a very basic concept, but they just I don't know, they do it so well.
The sponsor for this video. Big thanks to DC Dark Legion for iOS and Google Play. Up and play
Sorry, Charlie.
strategy melters story that'll see characters
Oh,
released
they got a
at
jump
launch
ahead
can be
button.
unlocked for
Oh
free
wow,
within DC Dark Legion
that's
for
interesting.
sponsoring. So Sung Jin Woo
YouTube
is an
upgrading,
E-ranked hunter who is
detecting
absolute
ads.
trash. He can't fight shit and he is useless to pretty much every party he's on. He is a knuckle sandwich magnet. The magic beasts treat him just like this fucking meat punching bag for them to dominate. And he is well known as the weakest hunter in this world. But even though he still gets walloped by anything with a pulse, he continues to go on these dangerous missions through these gates as an E-rank hunter, getting his clock clean.
I just noticed he got one of them old school TVs back there.
Time and time again for the singular purpose of trying to make money through being a hunter to hopefully at some point save his mother from an incurable disease. When one of his missions goes awry and everyone in his party starts to be slaughtered from a gate that turned into something a little bit more, Sung Jin Woo is facing death directly. And he is lamenting how all of it is playing out. He is sacrificing himself to save others, and it just feels so unfair. And right before he's about to perish, at the last second before his death, he was chosen by the system to be its player, which gives him an ability no other hunters that we know of have, the ability to level up. So he can.
That concept, I'm still wondering when that's going to be revealed. I'm pretty sure it's going to be revealed. They've been pretty thorough in the show, but I'm curious at that point, whenever that does come. No spoilers, please. What the background to that is, and how was he chosen? Like, why him? And are there other hunters out there like him? That would be crazy.
Level up.
Because they I feel like they kind of teased something like that in season. I don't remember if it was season 1 or 2. Because I've watched all of it all the way through. I caught up while season 2 was going on. So I just binge season 1, binge majority of season 2, and just caught up. But yeah, I'm curious about the origin of the system.
Up his strength and everything like that, just like a video game. And now, Sung Jin Woo has unlimited potential through his ability to level up. And he also gets quests, he gets items, he gets summons. And we get to watch him go from the weakest hunter in the world to the strongest hunter the universe has to offer, at least that we've seen so far. As I said earlier, it's not a unique concept. This is a premise I've seen explored before in other shows as well. But solo leveling does it very well, and it's also beautifully animated. The big thing that has blown solo leveling up is its action. The animation for all of its
I don't know if it's just me, but the animation in episode 12, oh my gosh. It
action,
was
and there
tough.
is
That
a
was tough.
lot of action,
I think
is
episode
just
12 animation
to
was
a
the best
top-notch degree that
out of
people
the whole
are loving
series.
it.
Maybe
And
it's
it
just me.
helps that it is well written. Like, it is a good story, and it isn't like always just right in your face. Everything's just like, put the square in the square hole. There are a lot of twists and moving parts to the narrative itself, but that's not, I would argue that's not like the bread and butter of the show. The big thing that people love is Sung Jin Woo and his aura farming, as they call it, but just the way that he is able to fight and the way he's able to get stronger. And we get to watch him fight stronger and stronger enemies as he comes up with creative solutions to the combat. He gets so many items, so many abilities, and so many summons at his disposal that it makes every fight feel super fucking fresh and really cool. And the animation is breathtaking. I would say this is up there with like Jujutsu Kaisen level animation. Like their fights,
Jujutsu
I think,
Kaisen
are
season 1
so
had great
good.
animation.
It also has an absolute slapper of a soundtrack. So during some of the fights, you'll hear the OST kick in, and it just elevates it to such a hype level. Now, while I think Solo Leveling is a must watch, I don't think it's a perfect show. I think there's quite a few valid complaints, especially when it comes to season 1. So, Danny has been watching Solo Leveling since all of this hype around it. He wanted to get in and see if it's as good as it is, as people lead him to believe it is. So he just started.
Lay down. Get it, hurry, lay down. Which way? Okay, okay. Really? Look at daddy. Okay, baby, I love you.
Started it recently and he's really liking it, but he had some like really valid complaints that I also said about season 1 in particular, where there's not really any characters outside of Sung Jin Woo. Like, yes, there's some other people that are introduced, but they're never really fleshed out. They're kind of just there in the background, just kind of idly doing shit, while Sung Jin Woo is going through all of these gates and his own quests by himself. I mean, as the name would imply, solo leveling. But that kind of makes it so you never really get to care about anyone besides Jinwoo because you just don't really get to know anyone besides him. Which for some people, they're not going to give a fuck, but I do think it is a valid thing to say. Felt a little underwhelming that you only have one character that you ever really care about, and that also every fight Jinwoo gets in usually.
I do think some of the characters that they do flash are interesting though. I don't, you know, I can't really. Season 1 and season 2 are a blur for me, so I can't really distinguish what was what. But again, a lot of the background characters, again, they're not prioritized, but they do have, they do have some interesting traits.
Usually wraps up in like one or maybe 1.5 episodes. Throughout all of solo leveling, we're watching him become just fucking busted strong. Like he is overpowering everyone pretty easily most of the time. There are a lot of times, mainly in season 1, where it is like life and death. He gets very close and then squeaks it out. But for the most part, he is dog walking them. He is absolutely eating their lunch. He comes through, he's got, hands by his side, cool, calm, collected, and he just fucks them. And it's very hype. It's very cool. But I do think it could be kind of lackluster for people where you build up to this really strong boss fight that ends in like 5 or 6 minutes because Jinwoo just slaps them around. It feels like, okay, he's like One Punch Man almost at this point. You know what I mean? Like, I could see why that could be not as satisfying to watch for some people, but for me, and I guess tons of other people, it is. Because the fights are still really beautiful. Jinwoo, I still think, is a really strong character, not just like in terms of his actual power, but like I actually think he is just a compelling character to watch and root for. But it is fair to say that if he's never challenged, it would get stale. Because you want to see him actually have to try and struggle against a really strong enemy where he finally.
It's kind of like One Punch Man, and I don't know why I fell off One Punch Man. I like season 1 when I did watch it. I don't remember why I never picked it up and why I really don't have much of an interest in it now. But is the premise of he's One Punch Man. He hit him with one punch. And I think the guy at the end of season 1, or whoever that villain was, um, it didn't take one punch. But again, I don't know. But similar premise to what he's saying, I feel like lies in One Punch Man. You do want the MC to be challenged.
Overcomes it. That's part of the hero's journey. And we do still get that. But I definitely recognize that in season 2, we're mainly just watching him go ballistic and never really getting into a situation where I felt like, oh, he might lose or he's going to have to really squeak some miracle out here to win this. It always felt like Jinwoo was firmly in control during all of it, even the strongest final fight. Now, in season 2, we do get to learn about a few more characters to actually give a fuck about, which I think is very nice. So in season 1, it's pretty much only Jinwoo that anyone is gonna care about. But season 2, we get a lot more characters coming into the fold because now he is an S rank and everyone knows now. Everyone in the world knows he's an S rank, so now we get to meet the other S ranks, and some of them get a little bit of depth added to them, which I think is good because there should be more characters that you give a fuck about other than Jinwoo. Even though I think Jinwoo is always going to be the biggest draw in Solo Leveling because he's the most interesting and most hype character the show has so far. But it is nice that now there are some other characters that we get to learn about in season 2 that I think people would like to see stick around and not get,
He did have his buddy in season one that, there was a thought to maybe there could be some potential with that guy, but I think he was like a D or a C rank. So I mean, I don't know, but he was a likable character.
eviscerated. Anyway, though, I'll stop yapping about it. I think Solo Leveling is a must watch, especially for anyone that likes, over the top anime action. It's a beautifully animated show and just a great time. That's really about it. So, yeah.
All right, man. All right, that's the review. I kind of want to do a reaction to this Jinwoo versus the Ant King. Or I think I'll do that on the backup channel. I think I'll do that on the backup channel. Um, the animation on just look at the thumbnail, bro. The animation here was better than any fight scene that I could think of in the entire show up to this point. It feels like they took the Invincible approach. Invincible, the budget for animating, as much as people hated it, I don't think it was terrible. But I think with how good the show is, the budget, the animation should be better. But it feels like with this, the animation for sure was not terrible. It was good, but it felt like they took it up a notch on his fight with the Ant King. If you do want to see that reaction, I think I'm gonna post that on the backup channel, on the gaming channel. So y'all go check that out. But appreciate y'all for watching, man. Comment y'all thoughts in the comment section. Let me know y'all best anime of this year so far, or out right now, ongoing, and even your favorite anime. I've been told by at least two people, reincarnated as a slime is really good. So I'm thinking about checking that one out pretty soon. But yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Subscribe, stay tuned, stay blessed.